Good evening, November Foxtrot. Welcome.
Evening.
We're joined this week by Airsoft Catastrophe, Airsoft Vixen, and Loki Queen 29. I've just realised you haven't actually got your actual names on there. I don't know if you want to share those, by all means, if you do or you don't.
Don't. It goes bad.
It's just crap.
But I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Cool. I'm Kat.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Abby.
Hi. Welcome.
Evening.
We've already got 18 people on the chat, which is cool. Lots of questions coming in.
I'm on promo, I am.
Oh, okay, well done.
Someone's got to keep it going.
So we're going to be talking this week on the second part of the UK Airsoft Ladies team chat. We obviously had the Northern contingent earlier on episode 110. This week we're going to be having, I guess, the Southern contingent. I believe you're all representatives of the South, per se, in the UK. So we're going to be having a chat with the ladies to find out about their experiences, what got them into airsoft and the like. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. If you can whack a little Q on the start, it just helps me find them. It's also Happy International Women's Day. Well,
Yep.
Happy International Women's Day because it's International Women's Day. So that's another good reason to have you on the chat as well. But I also believe it's the actual start day, birthday of UKAL. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Cool.
I would sing happy
So-
birthday, but I can't sing. Mike will. Did you put the happy
think that's
birthday song on?
Exactly why you should do
I
it.
don't have a
Yeah.
I've got a fanfare. There you go.
There you go. We can have a fun bit. If Lance is here, Lance will be singing.
Yeah. Lance is our resident singer.
He loves a good
So in the chat at the
karaoke.
moment, we've got Daniel, Precision Airsoft, Call Sign Chewbacca, Kenny, Paul Narroway, Warhound Tactical, Les, Rooftop Rambo, Daniel, Silly Gilly, Rich McRae, Define Events, Ryan Holt. There's loads of people in the chat and everyone's saying hello. So I won't go through them all, but hello, welcome to the show. So do you ladies want to introduce yourselves in terms of sort of what got you into airsoft and sort of like just a bit of a spiel about your background before we go too far?
Me? Or
Well, yeah.
Yeah, go
you
for it.
spoke
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So it'll actually be my 1 year on Sunday, on the 12th. That'll be my 1 year of airsoft. And it was a friend of mine, the Slippery Caterpillar, who got me into it. She had her first game day in January, told me about it, and I was like, it's basically real life COD. Yeah, and loved it ever since.
Cool.
Brilliant.
How about you, Abby? Or
No, that's
yeah,
right.
don't
I
mind.
don't-
Who's going?
You can go. I don't mind.
It's
I
all
don't want to
falling
talk over
apart.
people.
I actually got introduced airsoft via an ex-boyfriend 14 years ago now. So have played it for quite a while. Played every sort of role you could play, but now I just build my own and play it that way.
Nice.
Cool. You, Sarah?
So I actually started off by going to a paintball game for a friend's birthday. The only time I've been was this one time.
Yeah.
It doesn't get brought up very often. So we sort of went for a friend's birthday, and it was with a group of friends that I game with, and played role play, so like Dungeons and Dragons and all that kind of nerdy stuff. Went and played paintball, and then it kind of went on from there. Someone was like, "Oh, let's try airsoft." This was going back over 10 years ago, I think. And then it just kind of did a couple of games of airsoft, and then just got hooked really, and then started playing with various different groups of friends, and I've met quite a lot of friends through it as well, because I try and travel all across the UK and try new sites and things. So obviously you get to meet a lot of people, which is brilliant. So I've made quite a lot of friendships for it as well. So that's quite nice.
Cool. Nice. Well, now we've done a few introductions. We're obviously all friends, and we can talk openly. Should we roll on to a bit of news?
News.
I pick my gun and I go pew pew pew
News.
He got back and all three of them just were like, what have we done? What was that? What happened there?
I do like that little segue. I do. It does make me chuckle every time it runs. I haven't actually got any news this week. I haven't really been completely up on to speed with what's been going on out in the world. We're going to be having a chat next week about an event that we did this last weekend with Defiant Events. It was Operation Machiavellian. I think that's how you pronounce it. Machiavellian. But other than that, that's the only news I've got, really.
Mine is, can people stop buying iPro off of Amazon, please? I've seen more posts of people having their iPro shot out. People asking, is this safe for airsoft? And just holding up a picture of a bit of plastic. Buy your iPro from a decent, reputable airsoft shop, because then at least you know it's going to be safe. Please stop buying it from Amazon or an eBay. Please. I don't know how many times I need to say please. That's my news. It was more of a plead more than a news. It was
I'm ashamed to say I was that person when I started airsoft.
No, but I think because when I first started airsoft, I think there was a higher quality as well, and I think over the last year or so, the stuff from Amazon and eBay has plummeted in quality massively. As a marshal, I've seen at least one set of glasses break every game day since probably the start of last year. On every game day, which is just
scary,
beyond shocking. Yeah. So yeah, look after your eyes. You only get two.
I think the thing I always find interesting with iPro is that it's when people take a set of lenses and they're like, oh yeah, I've just tested these. I've been firing at them point blank with my 600 feet per second sniper rifle for 40 rounds. You're like, I think you need a new pair of iPro now. Maybe I get that they've survived this long, but maybe don't carry on running them.
Yeah, you've used 8 of the 9 lives.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you have any news or anything that you'd like to share?
Bought a glow-in-the-dark hoodie.
Love it.
Probably not a great idea.
Love
Yeah,
it.
that's exciting.
Cool.
Where is she? There she is.
That could come in kind of handy if your team want to see where you are, but then obviously not if you want to hide from the enemy.
Counterproductive. I'll look cool while I die, so I don't
Exactly.
Just have it on your back, like the glow in the dark bit, so when you're and then go in front of your team.
Yeah.
Spray the front black. So stand there like that.
Because it's nothing better than a spray painted hoodie.
Exactly. Lance would disagree massively, wouldn't he? He'd be like, rattle can it.
Oh dear. How about you, Sarah?
Not really got any news. I did book on to NAF, so quite excited for that.
Yay.
Cool. Yeah.
You'll have to come over and say hello.
I definitely will. It'll be my first time there, so I'm very excited.
Oh, you're gonna.
Don't expect too much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Play wise, like the social side of it is absolutely amazing. You'll have a laugh and everything, but the play side isn't the best.
I was considering it as well.
It's a good laugh, but
yeah,
be prepared to be overshot and people not calling hits. And
yeah, I think because there's so many people there, it's going to be one of those things with the gameplay anyway, isn't it? But it does seem like proper epic on the social side, so that is one of the main reasons why we're going.
I'm going to dress up as a fox this year.
Oh my gosh.
I've decided.
I thought you were dressing up as a pigeon.
No, that's for something else.
Oh,
no,
okay,
this is a fox. I'm going to be the mascot because I still don't play, but I'm not paying for camping this year either. So
we've all got to look out for a giant fox.
Yeah.
A giant fox outfit.
Yeah, exactly. They'll never know who I am.
In terms of the gameplay at NAE, I always find it interesting different people's opinions because I actually quite like the gameplay at NAE but I don't generally tend to run around in the middle of the map. So I tend to be like the more, right, we're going to go. We almost treat it like a mil sim when I've done it before, in that we sort of go, right, we're going to do a patrol right around the boundary of the site, where the sort of game plays there's a lot less happening, but it tends to be a little bit more enjoyable in my mind. But I know where Abby's coming from in terms of being overshot. I mean, there are parts in it where you've got potentially pinch points with about 15, 30 people all backed up, all sort of standing around each other, and you've got that one person 3 feet behind you shouting at you to move forward. You know, it's there's a lot of airsoft generals. At
Oh
NAE.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So right, we're doing this. It's like, no, I want to go over there.
Yeah. Defiant Events, they've just chipped in. They're going to have a stall at NAF this year, so come and say hi and have a chat with them.
Yes. We're going to have a barbecue with them, I'm sure, and definitely a few beers.
Warhound Tactical says NAF far back Woodlands is pretty epic when you end up team versus team. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, we've got my favourite story, I think, from NAF was me and 4 friends. We basically routed right around the outside. We were coming up on the other's main base, and then all of a sudden it was something from like one of the Vietnam films, because we were at the top of this ridge line. We'd sort of all spread out, and we were sort of trying to get eyes on what was going on, and then literally this wave of others, there must have been a good 200-300 people, came down the other side of the valley and sort of started to sneak up, and we're like, oh crap. So we're sort of hiding away in the bush line, sort of trying to let them past, but that was never going to happen, just the sheer number of people. So we got lit up, but it was an epic time whilst it lasted.
You light your bushes.
Yeah, I
He
was
loves a
about
good
to say that.
Yeah.
It's like your
before the
weekend
show.
activity.
Yeah, I need to just clarify this, because this is not portraying in a good light. But before the show, we were talking about Defiant's event
Bushes.
this last weekend, which was 24 hours sitting in the same bush. So we'll talk about that more next week. But yeah, I'm not some sort of weirdo that just sits in a bush just before everyone.
He really is. He really is.
You can't
Exo
talk, Andy.
Trojans
You
just
sit
said
around in
bush.
pipes.
Yeah, I sit in pipes. He hits in bush.
Oh dear. Right, there's a couple of questions that have already come in for you. So Rage says, is that the TARDIS behind Airsoft Catastrophe?
Yeah,
It is. Yeah. Handmade by my partner, and I painted it, and I came up with the idea to make the top piece a display cabinet. Yeah, the TARDIS it is.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I just need to butt in quickly. Richard, no, I'm not a silver fox. I will never be a silver fox because I'm a balding middle-aged fat man. So thanks for rubbing that in. But I will be red. I'll be a red fox, a normal red pain in the arse fox. Thank you. Right, you may continue.
That's all right. A question from Les. So he says, hi ladies, where are you all from and what sites do you play at?
I'm from Ascot, so I live in Ascot, and my first game was in Reading, and then I joined Slippery Caterpillar in Wales, so Mid Wales and C3, and then I've also played down south at Ambush Activities, Reforger, Gloucester Prison, Bristol Activities, and I think that's it.
Nice.
I'm from Norfolk, near Norwich. So I'm quite lucky that there's quite a few sites in Norfolk with it, lots of woodland and stuff. So played a few sites that are around my way, and then I've been down south, Southampton way, played a few places down there. Sort of in the Midlands, I've been there and played a few sites as well. Been to the jail, EMA, tried Driverwood as well, which is South London, I think, somewhere down there. And then I think the furthest I've gone is Newcastle and played at Dirty Dog Airsoft.
Cool.
I'm from Bournemouth, so my home ground is Ground Zero. I
Good site.
don't actually play local anymore. Last weekend I went and played at the mines down in Cornwall.
Oh yeah.
And Badlands Tier 1. That was both of those sites are pretty good. They're definitely worth the travel down there. I've done the Yard in Wales, been all the way up to Warzone. Yeah, I don't play local anymore. I tend to go further afield instead.
What's the mines like? That's that testing mines site? Is
It is, yeah, and it's really, really, really fun. So some parts are lit up, some parts are completely like you can't see 1 inch in front of you. But then like all of a sudden there'd be like nobody be shooting, and then there's just like loads of just green shooting past you. And then like you'll stop again, but then like someone's further away, so all you see on the floor is just the balls pinging. Like the BBs, it literally looks like someone's thrown like a grenade with tracer BBs in it, and they're just bouncing across the floor.
Yeah, I've always wanted. I see a lot of photos on Facebook and the like of the mines one, and that always looks quite good fun. Yeah, might be worth a trip down, Andy. We'll have to go and have a visit.
Yep, I'm always up for that.
I think I get worried that
Red Roof. Sorry, if you stay in Red Roof, it's only 15 minutes down the road.
Okay.
So it's quite easy, and it's pretty cheap. It was like 60 quid for the weekend, Friday to Sunday, to stay there.
Scribbling away in his little book.
Yeah, I'll make a note. Sorry, Sarah, what were you saying?
That's all right. I was just going to say, I think like I've seen it before, and it does look really cool. But I get really worried about like running into a wall or something in the dark. Just me like pelting it down a corridor and just bam straight into a wall.
But think of the story that you get out of it. Be like, you should see the other guy.
I did that at the UKAL bunker once because I didn't see where everyone else went, and I didn't want to put my torch on. And I was quite glad I wore a helmet, because that kind of like stopped me from like smashing my face properly against the wall.
I've got to admit, I've played some CQB sites and they've turned the light off halfway through the game, and you're not expecting it, and you just you're running along and the lights turn out, or they dim down slowly, and then you think, hang on, how far away was that? Bang, there it is. It does hurt, especially when you're running full pelt.
Talking of kit, you mentioned helmets and stuff. So what sort of airsoft loadouts do you three run?
I run a full.
No, sorry, you go.
Mine's a full Viper multicam quick release set with a one Tigris helmet with GoPro, X-Fog, and then with my custom M4 that I've HPA built.
Nice.
I'm pretty noob still. Like I said, just a year coming up, so I'm just plain camo trousers, my green UKAL hoodie. Hopefully getting a helmet this weekend, and my Viper Tactical green plate carrier, and that's it.
Nice.
It kind of depends where I'm playing and like what the weather's like, but most of the time at the moment I've just been wearing my multicam cry gear and my Warrior plate carrier. I've got a helmet somewhere in the depths of the airsoft cupboard, but I haven't. The problem when I wear that is just sort of find my glasses fog up quite a lot. So I just haven't really bothered with it, to be honest. And it's an extra thing to pack. So you just often or not, people just see this like red ponytail like bobbing along and I'm playing, which isn't very stealthy, but I'm like multicam, then bright red hair. But and then I have. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say I've just got some new ears for my helmet, so you got the red hair and I've got the set of ears. So
oh wow!
Nice.
Awesome.
Gotta hide my nose.
Yeah. And then at the minute, sorry.
Okay.
And then at the minute, I'm just been using my HP Tipman mostly. So.
Oh yeah, gun-wise, I'm Firehawk mainly, and then I just got the Crytac Trident Mark II.
That's good.
It's a bit big for me. It's a bit heavy. I need to get a 2-point sling, because at the moment on a 1 point, if I go uphill at all, the nose is just dragging across the ground.
Oh right, generally too big.
5'4" over here. Yeah.
So it's safe to say you're all sort of generally sort of AEG, or not AEG,
No.
sorry, but like M4 sort of style rifles, sort of single shot type things. We're not talking LMGs or snipers or anything like that.
I have a DMR. I can change mine to a DMR if I want to, but sniping's boring for me now, and an LMG is way too heavy.
Yeah, fair enough.
You haven't tried Mike's one. Mike's is
Oh yeah, I've got a
for
super lightweight LMG.
delicate people only for Mike's LMG. You could pick it up with one finger. It's,
You can
that's
dual
fully
wield them. It's
loaded.
great.
yeah.
That's fair enough. So I'm taking the mickey out of my LMG. It's only one of them anyway. So in terms of UKAL, obviously it's UKAL's birthday today, which is absolutely fantastic. So
Evening,
what sort
Steve.
of your involvement in UKAL, and sort of when did you get involved with it, and tell us a bit more about that.
I probably only got invited about maybe 7-8 months ago. And I believe it was the Slippery Caterpillar that spoke to Alex, and then Alex invited me into the group. And then I got my first UKAL hoodie. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next meetup on the 4th of June, because I haven't been to a UKAL meetup yet.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And where's that?
In Hampshire at Ironside, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to avoid that so I don't get lit up by you lot.
Oh, that'll be fun. It'll be good fun.
yeah, no. I might have a look at that and see if we can maybe pop up and shake some hands.
You can be the hostage or something.
Oh God, what have I done?
There'll just be all of
just
us
have that
like
look
trying to
about you,
drag
Andy.
you across the site.
Yeah. Tie you to a chair.
What is? Wait, hang on a minute. What did this go?
I think
no,
I might have to sort this out.
Invite me.
I
and
do
we
love
can
the
call it a
spurious
day.
tangents that this podcast goes off on sometimes.
Just beat up and kidnap Andy. That's all right. He'll love it.
Yeah. So, in terms of UKAL, then, how about Abby? Let's go to you.
I got introduced it by GSG Sniper Gilly, I think it is. I found her on a Discord group, and then obviously they made the UKAL Discord group, and so I am. It's been about, well, I think pretty much from the start when it first started. Admittedly, I've only met the girls up at the NAY last year, where they did did a big group one. But yeah, I keep trying to make the group like weekends, but I can't always do it due to child issues.
So I got added into the sort of group by Drew, GSG. She actually literally lives like 20 minutes up the road from me, so we live in the same town pretty much. So I knew her beforehand anyway. So she sort of messaged me, said that they'd had this idea, her and Alex. And I was like, yeah, sounds absolutely wicked. Go for it. So I got added in, and I helped admin the WhatsApp and the Instagram as well. So I helped with a couple of the other girls doing that as well. So, and I've met quite a few of the girls from the chat. So it is quite nice because it like brings everyone together, and I think there's quite a lot of good friendships that have been made from it as well, which is nice.
Yeah. That's the point of it as well, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
whole point of airsoft. At the end of the day, we might run around and shoot each other, but at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. So why can't we all be friends? Do you know what I mean? It's nice.
And it's quite handy as well because if like any of the girls want any advice for like kit or anything like that or where to play, they can just pop it in the chat and everyone's really helpful. So that's quite good as well.
And have you had any more members? Are you still on 87 or what is it? What was it
let me check.
I think we've gone up a few.
Yeah, has it gone up since the last episode? Is the main question.
Yeah,
Did we do well? Did we get you some more publicity? I don't know why I'm waving my pencil about.
I think it has. I think it has gone up because I remember a few new people being added into the chat. So
yeah, I think someone was added only yesterday.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a few before that, so it's definitely up since the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So does it sort of grow through invite only then? You're saying about get invited into the chat and the like. Is it
so
an invite only thing, or is it?
Well, there's like a private WhatsApp group. So generally, if somebody's at a site and there's a female player there and they're interested in being invited in, then we just like one of the admin will send the link out or get the person added in. It's just to mainly control who's in the chat. Just makes it easier that way because, you know, don't want any guys sneaking in there or anything like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, it just keeps an idea of who's in there, and numbers and things like that. So, but everyone's welcome to join if they're, you know, female airsoft and they're in the UK.
Yeah, not if you're a boy. No boys allowed.
No.
Otherwise, it defeats the object of the whole premise of it.
This is when Mike's all like, "Lol, joke's on you. I'm already in there."
Yeah.
They've watched previous episodes, Mike. They know what you're like.
I don't know where this reputation comes from. Mate. So what would you say is like the main thing that you get out of sort of being in the UKAL team?
Friendship, support, sense of community. Yeah. Knowing that if you do want to find some information out, you've got somewhere to go. I found there were quite a few people around me local, which I didn't know before I joined UKAL. And feeling like people have got your back.
Auntie's just dying. How about you, Sarah and Abby? What do you find that you get out of
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Kat said. It's just nice to know sometimes that there's like I've never had a problem with being the only female player at a site because I've always played with a lot of guys anyway. But I know how it can be quite intimidating for some females to be the only woman there. So I think that's quite nice as well. So I've heard a lot of people that have wanted to try it, a lot of women that have wanted to try it, but they don't want to like go as the only female. So it's nice. We've had a few people in the chat that have then met up at local sites with local people, and it just brings everyone together. So it's nice to have that like support. And as I said before, like questions on kit and stuff like that, because a lot of the girls have problems with finding kit that are sort of designed for women. So we get a lot of helpful links and stuff put in there as well, and just the support on like general life as well, just day-to-day support. If anyone's having a low day or anything like that, they can just chat to some of the girls in the group and everyone's got each other's back. So it is really nice.
Yeah, there's not much more I can add on to that. Like, it just pretty much covers the whole basis of it. Yeah, such a friendly group. Like, I have been the only girl going to like airsoft and that, but again, like Vixen, I've worked with guys, so it's no different for me.
I suppose it's a bit like Instagram in a way, but like with Abby, our first game together was at Reforger, and I didn't know her, but I knew her in UKAL, so it was nice to make that connection with someone, and already like have a sense of them when you join a game. So it helped with that and helped with easing you into that game day for me anyway, because I'm relatively new and I was quite nervous.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like there's a really good sort of strong sense of community with it, and it's always nice when you sort of find these little sort of subset communities. I mean, there's sort of similar thing that we're sort of trying to grow, and that you kind of you pull sort of like-minded people together and sort of hopefully sort of try and build that little network and aiding support. So it sounds like that you kind of really nailed that on the head, which sounds cool. So There's a question that's coming from Rage, which I kind of it naturally flows into. But he says, when you say a sense of community, do you feel that you aren't part of the wider airsoft community? And if so, is that because of how they make you feel?
Yes.
No. I think I feel a
Ooh.
sense of community with Instagram. So you have your community within that, and then UKAL, in a sense, has its own other sense of community. If you get what I mean, like when you have a sense of community with an airsoft family, like a certain site that you go to, you get that sense of community with them, and you build different groups of that around different places. That's how I see it.
So you said yes. Was that a yes as in you don't feel welcome at sites, or was that a yes? You said that. No one? Did I hear it?
Oh, I said no.
Oh, right. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to just go and take some more drugs and go and die in a corner, I think, because now I heard someone say yes in my head. So, oh.
No, fair enough. So Daniel Brewer asks, is there an age bracket for UKAL? As my 15-year-old daughter is an airsofter, I introduced her to it in November last year, and she's been tearing up the field since.
Yeah, she has. She's dangerous. She is. Like, genuinely, I fear for my life when she comes on the field.
So I believe we do try and keep it to over 18s, purely because then we don't have to like moderate the chat too much. And it's mainly because, you know, like if people are swearing or talking about, I don't know, over 18 type stuff, then we haven't got loads of parents with pitchforks after us kind of thing. But definitely if she's interested in, you know, meeting up with any of us, pop a message to the Instagram page if you're on there. And we can certainly keep you up to date with any upcoming meetups or events or anything like that.
That's cool. It must be kind of nice. I guess it's sort of it's hard. I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to put myself exactly in that position because obviously I'm a bloke. So you know I don't obviously see the world as you would probably see it from your perspective and the like. But I'm guessing it must be kind of nice to sort of turn up to an event and at least know that there's sort of people in a similar situation to yourself. So I mean, if you can build that sort of link there, that you could rock up and be like, oh yeah, you know, we had a chat online and sort of get to know them a little bit and sort of build those friendships and networks and stuff. That must be a bit of a comfort blanket when you go to some events, which is quite nice. So I know what I'm trying to say. I'm just garbling on, and it sort of eventually gets to the point. So
I think that's a good point, and I think that's why we all try and wear our hoodies and our t-shirts and stuff like that, so people will see the UKAL ladies, and you know, I like to think that they know they can come and approach us if they need help or just want someone to chat to, and you know that we're welcoming enough.
That's cool. I really like it. I know Flo's in the chat, so she says daughters always will. They got a sharp dad in terms of tearing up the field. So yeah, that's cool. Paulus Wales says, I took my wife airsofting in the early years of our relationship. While she enjoyed it, a massive turn off for her was the dingy, disgusting toilets. Other than that, what can sites do? It continues to encourage female players.
Definitely agree on the toilets.
Yeah.
I've been to some sites where I've literally just been like, nah, I'm just going to cross my legs.
You wait until NAE.
Oh, don't! I'm seeing some pictures and some videos, and the group I'm going with. We're paying for our private toilet.
Yeah,
and we're putting a lock on
as
it.
well. Yeah.
There's a comment in the chat that I just want to bring up on that. Paulus Wales says, I know people still suffered post-toilet trauma after NAF.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Is it worse?
It's the worst I've ever seen it. It was horrendously bad.
It was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
But
that year.
Yeah,
so last year,
there was like a mix-up
particularly bad
with the people that were hired or something. There was a bit of a mix-up, and they weren't emptying them as much as they normally would have done, or something.
Or at all. or at all.
Okay. Wow.
I literally had a small 15-year-old girl crying on the
Oh my
toilet
goodness.
because they'd been round every toilet and they couldn't get in there, and she was in tears because she needed to go to the toilet. So then when I was speaking to her dad, I said, "There's a garage around the corner," and he jumped in his car and shot off and used the garage toilets.
Wow.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
And then I was crying
Yeah.
because I needed to go to the toilet as well.
You
No,
weren't
I mean-
the 15-year-old girl
Yeah,
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend.
Yeah. I'll put my application through soon.
I mean, to be fair, the last year, I don't want to put you off. The last year was
No.
particularly bad. There was clearly something had gone wrong because
Yeah.
I've been going for, well, I can count by the patches, probably 6 years now. And last year was the worst it's ever been. I mean, they are festival toilets, so I mean, ultimately, you know, the ones where they get used the most regularly are probably the most funky. Whereas obviously you find sort of others sort of a little bit further afield, they're not too bad. But yeah, last year they were particularly bad. But in terms of actual site facilities and the like, how do you think that we could, as a community, sort of encourage more women into airsoft?
I don't really know, other than I think toilets is definitely one of the main ones.
Yeah.
I
think I've only had like 1 or 2 games where I've walked on and felt where I've been the only girl and felt intimidated. And I don't really know what you can do about that apart from, I guess, sites educating their players on being more welcoming to everyone in general. Whether that was like a I'm the only girl issue or just a new player issue, you don't know. I think that would be it. Just making players more welcoming of newcomers.
So one thing with that, as a marshal myself, and I know there's 2 or 3 marshals from the site that I work on logged on today. We would always say, if anyone does make you as a female player or any player, mind that, feel uncomfortable, speak to the marshal straight away. Don't hold it back and have a go at people on the internet. Always come and speak to a marshal there and then, because we're there to sort it out. We're there to make everyone feel welcome. Unless you're being unwelcome, then you're not welcome. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh.
I think she tried to come back on. But yeah, always, if you do have any problems or anything at all, always go and speak to a marshal. That would be the first thing that I would always say. Everyone's welcome. As far I'll drop the name Rift Airsoft. If you come to Rift Airsoft, if you're being unwelcoming to any player, we don't want you there at the end of the day, because as you said, there's a whole point of having a community. So yeah, always speak to a marshal if you do feel uncomfortable, or if someone's made a comment or something that you don't feel happy about, let us know.
And you do
and
get
then
some
and then
those at events anyway.
Yeah, and then slag us off when you go back to your WhatsApp group.
Yeah, not a very nice suggestion, but just on a lady front, someone asked about what you could do to make it easier for women in airsoft. And one of the worst things, sorry in advance, is when you come on at airsoft and you don't have what you need with you. And some places I've been to have had them in the toilets. So things that can help with that. So I guess that could be an idea.
Yeah, I did go to a site where they had like not because sometimes you go in like a pub toilet or whatever, and they have like the stick a pound in, you get one or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been to a couple of sites where they actually just have like a little basket on the back of the toilet or on the windowsill with some in, which is quite a nice little touch.
Yeah, because
things like that,
it saves the day. Like,
yeah, definitely.
That ruins the entire day for a woman.
And I think sometimes a lot of women will then feel like,
I'm making notes.
I need to go home, and then they have to end their day early.
Yeah. And sadly, it's almost got shame. I don't know, but for me, it's got a bit of shame around it. Like, if you get what I mean, you almost feel ashamed. Like you have to hide it and run away. So yeah, I guess being supportive around that as well.
Yeah,
that's
of
fair
course.
enough.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, I think it's
interesting,
all
there's quite a
part of
lot
life,
chat
isn't
about.
it? It's
Yeah.
like, it's
Mm.
why. What I know. I obviously I can't feel it, but I hope that you wouldn't feel ashamed about it. And if like we do have female marshals as well on site, so I'm just making some notes to pass over to them as well to see what
Yeah,
we
I
can
guess
do to
that's
sort
good
that
as
out as
well.
well.
Actually,
Yeah.
having female marshals and
Mm-hmm.
female staff. Yeah, especially for youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
There's
think
quite a lot of
sometimes
chat
as
about.
well. Oh, sorry.
No, that's why I was going to say there's quite a lot of chat about toilets. So it's sorry, I've just scrolled past them. So Adam Kindon says we need to get more women in the sport. NAE silly giddy just went in the woods. Shoot me. Rage I think made quite a good point. He said ultimately we shouldn't have to teach people how not to be a cock to new people. So I completely agree on that point, and it sucks that we're in a situation where sometimes that seems to be the answer. Defiant Events said when we have ladies attending our events, we actually assign ladies loos and lock them with a coded padlock.
Nice.
Although that probably would have been quite useful on some of the events, because I know that the enemy team nicked all the toilet paper out of the gents. So that would have been quite.
Wow.
Yeah. Flo says, I don't think you have to do anything to get more women to play. More of us are playing all the time. Just carry on being cool and welcoming. The more of us who go, the more friends we can convince to try it, if that makes sense. I feel like special treatment could be counterproductive, which is a good point. Les says, Vixen, did you feel spoilt with the driverwood toilets?
They were very nice. Yeah. It was a nice change from just being in like a horrible portaloo that you have to share with like 100 odd other people. So yeah, that was very, very nice.
Kenny Rebel says, surely ladies only lose should just be a norm. I know some sites have separate ladies lose. Adam Kindon makes the point that I think we all emphasise with, which is zero shame, it's natural. And then Terry says, and it's something I want to move on to, is maybe some sites need more females involved in the events. So do you think that, I mean, this is probably more from like a milsim perspective, and I don't know necessarily what your milsim experience with those sorts of events, but do you feel sometimes that you're put off by going to certain events potentially because there aren't other women at the event, or you know, maybe you don't necessarily, maybe it's not that there aren't other women there, but maybe it's just that you don't necessarily feel that you have as much of a network or support structure there at an event?
Yeah, I guess my first game to go to alone in a sense was at Reforger, and that was hosted by Operator Rush. But I had been added to a private WhatsApp group, so I got to talk to a few people, and though I hadn't made proper friendships as such, it helped to feel like I had some kind of network. And it helped that Rush came up to me on the day, introduced me, and like took me around to meet people. So I think that helps, like having someone to guide you in. And
So I've not done any.
If I go quiet at any point, it's because I'm trying to balance the chat and the comments and everything else going on in the background.
Oh, no, that's right.
Feel free to just chip in. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, just jump over him. He'll shut up.
I've not done any milsims as of yet. I was planning on trying to get to one this year, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore. So that's a bit of a shame. I don't think they could like get the booking for where they were going to do it, so I don't think it's going ahead. But it is something I definitely want to try. I don't think that I'd necessarily be put off by like the lack of women involved in an event or a milsim for me to go along. But then, as I've said before, I'm quite used to playing with like all guys anyway. So I can see how it would maybe benefit some people. Like they might feel more comfortable. I think it would be quite nice to see more women used to maybe like in the marketing side of things for airsoft, because a lot of the time, I feel anyway, a lot of the airsoft sort of marketing that I see is mainly of like men, and I think it would be quite nice to see a lot more women used in that way to kind of
Promotions.
to promote it a bit more. And then I think if women are used more to promote the sport, more women will be inclined to join.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah, no, I see what
sure
you mean.
Andy
When
you are going to come up with a point.
No, I was going to comment. I had to kind of
Just
think how I was going to word it because my brain's not working. But no, I do understand because, like, literally every magazine, every front page, every Insta post, every advertisement for every single event is your multicam crew all sitting there, all told up, and they're all males. So I can see why, even on like the big promo pictures where you've got 15, 20 guys, it's all guys. They haven't. And I've seen females at meal sims before, and their images don't seem to get used that often. So yeah, hopefully that'll be something that some of the organisers listening might be able to think of in the future. Yeah.
Define Events said, this is James from Define. He said, "That's it. I'm putting scented candles and all kinds of luxuries in the ladies' loos next time. I shall even buy the most expensive shit tickets."
Oh. And what about our toilets? Why do we not get scented candles? I feel this is sexism now, James.
You get crossword toilet roll.
Yeah. We just get toilet roll with James's face on it, I think.
I'll be pretty honest with you. I wouldn't want to be in there long enough to be sitting there doing a crossword. Steve Walker says, "Be nice if the ladies could visit us at Riffs, Shift Your Riffs, to see how great we run events and accommodate all skills and players. Andy is a great evangelist for all of our family ethos." So,
thanks.
There you go.
I now have to Google what evangelist means. Bear with me.
Warhound Tactical says, "Warzone Apocalypse has Jasmine on the promo next to guys granted."
Nice.
That's good.
It's cool. I mean, I think ultimately it's this is because I sit in the construction industry with sort of my day-to-day job, and it's always hard because on one hand you need to have the role models for people to aspire to, and we're not just talking about women here, we're talking about everybody, diversity and everything therein. You need to have role models to aspire to, but it's sometimes hard to find role models or so, for example, like promos for events, usually events companies generally tend to use photos from the last event. So if obviously, they didn't have any women go to the event, it's probably quite difficult for them to, I guess, cherry pick out a few photos to sort of try and promote that diversity in their marketing. Without going to the efforts, I guess, in terms of, can you dress up in this so I can get a photo of you so I can use that to promote an event? Which I guess is, it's obviously a way to sort of boost that. But yeah, it's a difficult one. But Christian Woodhouse says candles. I want candles.
Hang on a minute. I've just had a brainwave here. My brain's caught up. Candles in a portaloo. I feel like that's just a disaster waiting to happen, James. I feel like your safety mind was not... And if I've thought of it, then you know that you've done something wrong.
Right, there's another question that came in, which was from Daniel. What riffs do you use and your preferred role? So I know we've kind of covered that, but just to reiterate that one.
I prefer my Firehawk at the moment. It's light. I can run around a lot with it, and I like sneaking up on people. If I can skirt around the edges, and if people have seen me, I generally like to just run and dive for stuff and jump to the next cover and spew a few bullets and stuff like that.
Yeah, so as I said before, I mainly at the moment use my HPA Tipman, which is good fun. And then sometimes it depends, obviously, where I'm playing. If it's somewhere more sort of CQB, I'll either use my Evo Scorpion or my MP9, which I've also got a drum mag for, which can be quite fun if I just want to leg it around and spray everyone. So I've not properly tried sniping before in terms of in a game, but my other half used to. So I've had like a go on his, but he's left-handed, so I couldn't use it in a game because otherwise, it was all set up left-handed. And I know, right? It was. He, bless him. I got some new kit, and he set all my kit up, and I put it all on, went to play, and I was like, oh fuck, everything's back to front, and he'd set it up to him that everything was back to front. I was like, great, what am I going to do now? And I just had to like carry on and try and it was a nightmare. So, but yeah.
It's the thought that counts on that one, though, isn't it?
I've never really been too tempted by sniping because I just think I'd get a bit bored, like laying around. Mm-hmm. I kind of like to be a bit more up in the action.
I've used a DMR, and it was nice to be able to sit back out of harm's way, and those annoying gits that were getting everyone else on your team, to be able to pop them one in the head or something. That was satisfying, but I can see it would get boring after a while. For me.
So Rush is saying Cat loves a friendly fire as well.
Oh, come on, Fort Crush. Pop me in the arse first.
In fact, there seems to be a trend. Sorry, I was just saying. Says Cat also likes to hit people in the back of the legs. Friendly fire.
They are in cahoots. Those two. You know that.
Just give us the eyeball. We can ban them. Mag's got the power.
Yeah, guys, watch it. Otherwise, you're out.
Well, that kind of leads on to a question that I had. Was what's your preferred game style? As in, are you up close and personal? Do you like getting up into the action? Do you like sitting back a little bit? Are you a weekend general? Do you just stand behind people and shout at people what to do while you do nothing?
I fucking hate that. so annoying.
The amount of times someone's done that, and I've been like, "Fuck off! You run ahead and do that if you want." Don't tell me to do it. You do it.
Oh, I can't run ahead because I'm directing you lot. Well, lead from the front. Lead by example, mate.
I definitely like teamwork, so like communicating. I don't like. I wouldn't say I like taking the lead because then it's your fault if it goes wrong. But I like to know that we all know what we're doing and working as a team. And I'd like to say I like to be up close and personal and pushing, but I'm also quite a big baby and I will scream a lot, and people know that I scream a lot. So generally, if I run into someone and I'm quite close, I will call my hit before I've been hit, out of the anticipation of the pain. So yeah,
that soon goes. Because I think all of us are over a few years experience, and I think you learn after the first couple of years. No, I'm just going to run in there shooting now. Get them. So that just comes with experience. No, he doesn't. He squeals like a pig when he gets shot in the ear.
Yes, of course. It hurts.
That does hurt. Ears and fingers are like, ow.
Oh yeah, I've had the finger.
Tip of the nose, I think, is the worst.
Yeah.
One of my teammates got shot on the end of the nose. Weekend just gone, and it looked so sore. I was just like, oh.
What? No mouth guard?
No, he had like one of those snoods on, so your nose. To be fair, I wear one as well. One of the Lone Star masks, but I've been. Oh, I'm going to jinx it now. Touch wood. Luckily, I've not been because I've got one of the ones that are just the snoods, and I've not been shot in the nose as of yet with it. I'm definitely going to get shot next.
Everyone's going to be aiming for your nose.
Everyone's going to aim for my nose.
Silly Gilly in the chat shot me in the nose once, and it was literally I was sitting there having lunch, just on this tree stump, so I wasn't particularly like in cover or anything like that. And he just literally plonked one straight off the edge of the nose. And he's the nicest person ever. He just came over and was like, "Oh, I'm very sorry for shooting you in the face." I was like, "That's fine, it's not a problem." But it did just catch me off guard, and I think I dropped what I was eating at the time, and I was more upset about that. But yeah, no, it does suck. The earshot that Andy's referring to is when Lance, who say he's not able to make it tonight, but he's managed to break my earpiece in half with his DMR shot. Just literally caught me straight on the earpiece. So it didn't hurt from that perspective. I was just more shocked because all of a sudden my earpiece just exploded and I couldn't get it out of my ear because the earpiece was still in my ear. And everyone else is just standing around as if I've just gone mad. So yeah, that was
absolute screaming. He was. I can't get out my ear. I can't get out my ear. Walking around.
Sorry. Also, Richard McRae just said Mike doesn't run. I run sometimes. I can. I have been known to run.
It's hard when you're carrying a heavy LMG.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can run. It's just if I can avoid it, I will. In terms of left-hand shooting, by the way, something I wanted to just come back to. That was probably one of the most useful things that I ever learnt to do. Was I spent, because I don't know if anyone's ever had this, when you go up to a corner and you're a right-hand shooter over like that, going around to the left's fine. As soon as you go around the other way, you're obviously leaning out. So something I actually spent 2 or 3 airsoft events, and this was way back in sort of proper skirmish days, was just running the whole event as a left-handed shooter. And it gets you into that sort of ability to do both. So if you're ever sort of doing a patrol or anything like that, and because if you ever look down a line when people are doing a patrol and you've got like the 10 people in front of you, they're all pointing their guns to the left. It's like, it's not much good if you've got like, if your field of view is off to the right. So I highly recommend, if you ever get the opportunity, just try running your rifle and hold yourself to it for like an event or 2 or 3 events. And because you will learn to, and it becomes a lot more comfortable to do. So yeah, just something that I learned.
That is something I've been meaning to
years of experience.
Been meaning to do, because it's the amount of times I've just like ran up to a corner and I'm like, oh my god, this would be so handy if I was left-handed. And I have tried, and then just had a really shit aim because I can't. Yeah. So it's definitely something that I think
it takes a while to
it.
come in. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to start a new hashtag on Instagram, like hashtag Ambi event or something like that.
Me and my friend were doing a photo shoot with smokes. Me and the slippery caterpillar, and trying to do like holding smokes on the outside and our guns with the other hand. And I soon realised, I was like, hang on, I can't. I don't know how. And she's ambidextrous, so she had to take the lead for us.
Yeah, Jade said, yep, do left-hand drills. You start off shit, but practice makes perfect. So
yeah, definitely.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Paulus Wales said Mike ran to the cafe for breakfast at Battle Lakes. Exactly, I did run.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and for dinner.
That's normally the only time I run is either to the front of the chrono line when you're like, chrono's open, you're like, leg it, or like lunch is ready, get there first at the start of the queue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. There's also still quite a lot of people, Kat, that are claiming that you are a bit trigger happy. Is there a story here?
Who else, man? This is Rush. Rush is just getting random.
Ethan Harris, Kat is very trigger happy.
Why? You went to show support.
I've heard no denials yet. You're just saying.
That's the point.
They did me a birthday game on the last Sunday, and Ethan Harris was shooting me while I was dead. And while I was on the floor with my hand in the air, they were still shooting me.
Well, you're not allowed to talk when you're dead, so you shouldn't have been complaining. That's cool. I had some sort of vision that you just went rogue and just started wiping out your own team.
Yeah.
I apologise. I'm going to mash this name. Amy.
No.
Amy.
This is the slippery caterpillar.
And to be
And-
fair, that is an amazing call sign, by the way. Like,
She
slightly
shot me.
jealous.
She shot. Well, I was aiming for her by her foot, and apparently my aim is so bad that I got her in the private area. So she turned around and shot me straight in the private area, and it dropped me to the floor.
Well,
But mine was an accident.
It is quite painful for us girls as well. Just
It
to
is.
Yeah, I
clarify,
can-
I've had it happen. It's not nice.
yeah. No, I feel
I'm just
like
going to
I-
move the
I feel
conversation
like-
away from being shot in the private area.
Yeah, I feel
In
like that is
terms of-
something that's universal. Everyone just kind of goes, yeah,
Yeah.
can feel that one.
In terms of events and the like that you've been on, sort of what would be your favourite event and why?
That's a hard question. Part of me wants to say Gloucester Prison, because that was my first CQB, and I thought the abandoned prison was really cool. Yeah, but perhaps somewhere else for the company and the feel and the energy and things like that.
I don't think I've got like one favourite event. I don't know. That's a really tough one. I hate it when people ask those kind of questions because it's like, oh, I
No,
can't
that's
pick
fine.
just
Well,
one.
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
like, ah.
picked just one, and it's Mid Wales. The Mid Wales weekend, England versus Wales. That was my
cool.
favourite event.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think I could pick just one because I've travelled around quite a bit. Like, it's just, I don't know. But we tend to go for like a meal and drinks the night before with people that we meet up with and stuff. So it's always good fun. And in terms of the airsoft side of things, I quite like the weekend events that I've done, where you like camp over. I've not done like the play while you camp kind of thing, sleep in your iPro. I've not done that.
I couldn't deal with that.
No. I get so grumpy if people wake me up. I just imagine someone being like, quick, wake up, we've been attacked. And I'm just like, fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that still happens.
yeah, it still
Yeah.
happens. And then like, oh, they've all gone. You're like, fuck off, leave me alone. Oh, the attack stopped. Well done. You can go back to sleep now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think I'm trigger happy when I'm awake.
Yeah.
See me when
Yeah.
I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Where would
Yeah.
you say is probably the best place that you've played then? Let's go at it from a different
But
sort of
for
tactic.
what? For the layout and the actual map, or the?
Yeah, so the actual play area. So forgetting like the toilet facilities and stuff like that. We've discussed the toilets. But in terms of like the game zone and the like that.
Gloucester Prison for me. Yeah, for now, Gloucester Prison.
That is actually on my list of places to try. I've not tried that yet. So it's
Not
definitely
for
on
the
there.
people, but for the layout. Yeah, if it was for the people, it'd be somewhere else. Sorry, it's not Reforger Rush. He did host a very good event at Reforger, and fantastic people, and he's hosting a very good event again soon. So I'm looking forward to that as well. For the people, that was good.
Yeah.
So
How about yeah,
Oh.
Sarah? I was going to say no. It was just leading it on.
to be fair, go with the prison theme. One of the best ones I've tried that I've had fun at is probably the jail near Grantham.
Yep.
I think some people
site.
pronounce it differently.
The
But that was, yeah. So I quite enjoyed that. That's the only prison I've played at. So so that's quite fun. And I quite enjoy going to Ironsight, where our next UKAL meet is at. I quite enjoy going down there as well. That's a good fun map. And the people there are so friendly. So
What's it
that makes
like?
even better. So it's actually an old like mushroom farm.
Oh,
So
Cool.
they've got these giant like polytunnels, and they're still there. And they've done each one as like a different theme inside. So there's like a crypt which is all dark, and there's a coffin in the middle, they tell you you're not allowed to get in the coffin.
Oh,
I know. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to hide in it and jump out at everyone. It'd be so fun. Not allowed in the coffin. I think they've actually got it nailed shut. But there's like all these like columns either side of the room, and on the side of them, facing the wall, they're actually, you can stand inside them. So when it's really dark in there, you can just kind of hide in these columns and step out at people. That's quite fun.
that sounds
and there's-
terrifying.
and there's like a tube station one as well. So they've done all walls and stuff to look like you're on a tube train. You can run in and out. That's quite cool. And then there's an outside area, inside tunnels and stuff like that. It's good fun.
That sounds big. I've not been there yet.
And they've got a bus on there as well, which they use in a lot of their games, which is always fun. I've had so many fun stories from
Is it a
shooting
double
people
decker?
off. Yeah, shooting
Oh.
people on and off buses.
Terry just said mushroom farm. That would magic.
Nah. Yeah.
Christian said, so you're all just high while playing.
Not that kind of mushroom farm, I don't think. Anyway, not that I know of. We haven't spotted any mushrooms as of yet, and we've been there a few times, so I have to keep an eye out.
Adam Kindon as well said the jail is pronounced jail, Jail.
Aha, that's
You were
correct.
So there you go.
I hear so many people call it the gal, though. To be fair, because it's spelled with a G, but
Yeah, because it's G-A-O-L, isn't it? Yeah. It's just goal spelt incorrectly for
Goal.
dyslexics.
Yeah.
That's a question. What was the question? Right. So bits of kit. What would be what would you describe yourself as in terms of, are you sort of a kit purist in terms of you keep your sort of kit ownership quite light and sort of like, I've just got the essential items, or are you a bit of a kit hoarder?
I would say essentials for me, but probably turn into a hoarder one day. I'm definitely a
Just
hoarder
time.
for smoke grenade.
just wait.
Yeah.
How about you, Sarah?
I've got so much stuff. Probably not, it's probably not as much as some people, but literally, like, I just don't like selling stuff or getting rid of stuff. Like, my other half will quite happily like sell and buy guns all the time and kit, and I'm just like, no, that's my baby. I'm not getting rid of it. I'll just buy more. It's fine. So we have like my cupboard under the stairs is like literally jammed packed full of stuff, and I've got boxes and like massive kit bags in there, and that's just my stuff. But I've literally kept, I have an excuse. So I've kept all my kit from when I first started, like plate carriers and stuff like that. So then if I've got friends that want to try it, or we're doing like a birthday game or something like that where people are new to it, they've got stuff there that they can use, and I'll just lend it to them. Because I think there's nothing worse than having a rental
I use that
running
excuse
around.
too sometimes, and I never lend it out to anyone.
I think I feel so bad when I see rentals running around and they're trying to put like their extra mag in their pocket, their trousers and stuff like that, because they don't have all the overalls that they give you. And I just think, I've got like 3 spare plate carriers in there. 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that. Yeah, so there's spare stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, you just use this, it'll be fine. And then there's extra guns and stuff that they can use as well. So they haven't got to pay for rental, because the rental guns are normally quite crap.
Yeah, I was
So-
really lucky with starting. I never had to go through that. The slippery caterpillar helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
She had a lot of spare kit. So I never had that painful phase.
I think it just makes it more of an enjoyable experience as well,
Yeah.
which makes them more likely to get into the sport.
Yeah.
Just going to dive into the comments for a second. So, Country Sports Warehouse have just said something Vortex Optics. Thanks,
How's the shield? I'm waiting for him to show me a video of him jumping up and down with his magnetic shield.
Okay.
It was on Instagram. He knows what I'm talking about. I've got to
I'm
put.
glad someone does.
Yeah.
On the subject of sniping, Silly Gilly says it's not boring, it's just slow.
It's just boring. It's slow.
On the subject of being shot in the nads, Les says you're just going to need a new type of mask. So there you go. That's if there are any companies out there looking to come up with a new product, genital covers is what we're now talking about. So
Yeah.
there you go.
One of my friends actually uses I think it's for hockey.
Oh, a cup.
Yeah, after I accidentally full autoed him.
Accidentally full autoed him.
Now
There's no.
who's
So I also have an excuse for this one. So it was my birthday game, and my group of friends, it was a private day, and my group of friends decided to tie balloons all over me. And basically it was everybody versus me. And I was allowed full auto, but they weren't, because it was like 1v, like, I can't remember how many people were there. And they had to basically shoot me until the balloons were gone. So I kind of turned around in a panic and sprayed all up his body, and oops.
That doesn't
I
sound
think
like
I'd
an
like to
excuse.
play a
That just
game.
sounds like you just went at him. You.
I literally had like over 10 people just pelting me with BBs. I was just like, literally
And you
stood there,
released-
like going around in circles with full auto on, pretty much.
And you released all your rage onto this one poor lad
Yeah.
and his nuts.
We're still
I think
friends
I'd like
as
to
well.
be
So
Yeah.
I don't know
I think I'd
how.
like to be at a game day with you two, because it sounds like as long as you're on the enemy team, I haven't got anything to worry about. You're just going to light up your own team. So there's a question from Amelia, Slippery Caterpillar. What's your most essential piece of kit?
Your gun.
I was going to say, other than your gun.
Let's ignore the gun itself, because obviously
Yeah.
without a gun in airsoft, you are just running around just like.
Other than the gun, my vest. My plate carrier.
I think I'd agree. Plate carrier.
Mhm.
Carry all my tactical snacks in it.
God, I love tactical snacks.
What
What's
sort of
your
stuff do you
best
have on your plate carriers?
Haribo.
Which type of Haribo?
Oh, the Tang Fastix one. The,
Oh, nice.
Sugary
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
They're my favourite.
Gold bears, gum bears for me.
Mm.
Serious
cake.
stuff that we carry in our vest besides Jaffa cakes, mags, smokes, bang bangs, speed loader, BBs. I think that's it for me. That's all I've got in mind.
So normally on my plate carrier, I've just got like my mags. Normally in my phone, I put like a spare mask in front of it. It's not failed me yet. And then I have my belt with all my pouches on, so I'll have all my pyro and stuff in there, and my grenade, and then that's pretty much about it, really.
That's cool. On the grenade front, do you generally tend to run sort of the Mark V single use pyros, or do you happen to have? I mean, there's all the reusable sort of Quake 8s and stuff like that.
You go.
I did used to have one of the Tectonic Quakes, which I found like super helpful, because I had one of the ones where you have like, I think it's 7 in a safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of the limited edition ones in like the rose gold pinky color, and then I used it like once and it got stolen, so I was really gutted about that. So it kind of put me off using the reusables because of that reason. But I have got some, I don't actually know what it is because my other half gave it to me. but I don't really tend to use it because you can only put like one primer in it at a time. Whereas I enjoyed the fact that you had like 7 in the Tectonic one. So I'm hoping to get another one, and I'll just have to like engrave the hell out of it or something. I don't know.
What one of the guys did at Rift Airsoft was, the really long retractable sleeves, pull strings that you can get.
Yeah.
he literally put it on that, got a real like 5 meter one, ran around the corner, throws it, goes off, and then it comes back.
Oh, okay. Does it
just
actually
pulls
work
it
quite
back.
well?
Yeah, it does.
'Cause I did think
Yeah.
about doing something like that, but I weren't sure like how well it would actually work.
Yeah, so literally he'll walk up to the door, throw it in the doorway, so it's only like a meter away, and then it'll go off and it'll pull it
This
back.
is when it pulls someone with it.
Yeah.
That's mine. Get off.
I was just thinking you could get one of those like retractable 20-meter dog leads or something like that. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. Like you lob that in and just garrot someone. Either that, or you hit the retractable button and then you've got this ball of
It
metal
comes
just
back
flying
as it-
back
yeah.
towards you.
Yeah.
Oh dear, no, that sounds cool. That's maybe something we'll have to look at, Andy. A bit of science.
Yeah.
Bit of science, yeah.
Please film all of it.
You'll have to go on Dragon's Den with that idea.
Yeah. Just don't bring it back too soon.
There's a lot of chat about reusable grenades and sort of stamping or getting them engraved, laser engraved and stuff. Pyro CG says seen someone getting theirs laser engraved with their name on it. Thought that was a smart idea. Rich McCrae.
So mine was actually engraved, but it's still got it because they only made 100 of them. So it actually had an engraving of a number. So we did like post around some of the sales groups, but the problem with engraving is I think a lot of people will just like sand it down potentially. So, I don't know if that actually.
Also, as well, if they're keeping it for themselves and they're not selling it, if they're an airsofter and they've picked it up and gone, "Oh, I'll have that," well, they're not going to sell it, are they? They're just going to keep using it.
Exactly.
So just don't go back to that site for another couple of months.
Yeah.
It's just horrible because I've lost tremors and things like that. I've gone through 2 now, so I just use paper.
Yeah.
Like, at 120 quid, 130 quid a pop. Like you use that and it goes, and you have to keep buying one every couple of events. It's just as cheap just to buy paper pyro and forget about it.
You can throw them over arm as well. So
exactly, yeah.
You could get one and put like a little air tag in it, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, I have heard
Something
people
like that.
sort of trying to come up with some sort of idea like that.
That way you know who's got it. You'll be like, "Oi,
Yeah.
give it back."
No, it's in your bag.
Oh, I picked it up by accident.
Yeah.
Or what, out on the field, put it in your pocket and then in your car.
Yeah, it fell into my pocket. I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just hate that sort of crap. Stip the Sniper says, "What's next for UKAL in its second year?"
So we are hoping to have obviously a lot more events. There is talks between the admin of trying to set up like a charity event. So that'd be quite good. We're still just sort of discussing ideas at the moment. So that might be something for sort of later on in the summer potentially. But just like getting more members, like our name out there a bit more meetups, things like that. Yeah.
Get 100 members, over 100 members.
Yeah. So how can people find you as UKAL?
So the main one is on our Instagram, which is just UKAL Ladies with 1 L, and then an underscore.
I'll just add that to the.
Yeah, Mike's got a little thing that we can put across the bottom. There you go. See that?
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Ta-da! The power of technology.
So you can go on the page.
There was a lot more D's in it when I wrote it out to start with.
But there's loads of pictures on there of like all the members, and then there's plenty of admin on there as well. So if you want to send a message, if you're interested in getting added into the WhatsApp chat, just ping a message and we'll get that sorted.
Nice.
We are hoping
Les
to
is
do.
already. Sorry, let's just say Les is already tapping up if you have any merchandise.
So at the moment we have the merch that the members have. So we've got hang on. We've got the t-shirts that a lot of people have like their call sign on, and then it's got as Kat's showing you, that's what's on my back. So we've got t-shirts, hoodies, patches, which I think I don't think we've got any. There's something we're
Like
talking about.
supporters.
We're getting like support patches done.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've just got like the members patches at the moment, but that is something I think we're going to look into as well. So like support patches that we can just like hand out to like, because there's guys and stuff that want to show support as well. So
Tag along.
We could do a patch trade at some point.
Yeah, so that's something we're going to obviously look into as well. So Call Sign Hawk Clothing, they're one of our sponsors. So they sort out the t-shirts and the hoodies, and then our patches are sorted from Lone Star Tactical.
Yeah, Lone Star, they're quite good
as well. So a lot of the girls use his masks, and he sorts patches out for us as well.
When we had the first one of these episodes with the Northern Ladies, I sort of started tagging Call Sign Hawk Tactical and Lone Star tactical gear in the Instagram posts, and I always like to sort of check out sort of who I'm tagging in there, and then 10 minutes later I already bought a mask from
oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
And then I was like eyeing up Call Sign Hawk to potentially do some t-shirts for us and stuff as well. So
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
I
don't know about I don't know about Hawk Clothing, but I know Eddie at Lone Star is going to be at the NAF festival as well. So
cool.
Yeah, so I might be watching his stall while he has a wander around. So
yeah,
send him to come and say hello.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to go and bump into him, Andy.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go and do the handshakings like we did last time.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't weird.
That was really weird, but I loved it.
It was
brilliant.
really odd.
We went round, shook some hands, and then we went straight to the pub again. And then you went out and played, and then I went to the pub, and I carried on sitting at the pub shaking hands with random people.
If anybody listening is going to be at NAF, we will have twice the amount of sweets that we had last year. In so much
because
as
we
I've
couldn't
still
give
got
them
a
all
lot of
away.
Sweets from last year. If you bump into us, no doubt we'll have some. That's going to sound weird, but we're going to have some sweets on us that you're more than welcome to pinch the lollipop off of. So go for it. There's quite a lot of interest in some sort of supporter merch. Kenny's saying that they're going to go get a wig
Nice.
so that they can get hold of some stuff. And Les says, I want a hoodie. So there you go. Definitely a market there.
Yeah, I'll have to get that one sorted.
Come on to our show. We'll give you more work to do on your time off.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
We're pretty much coming to the end of the show. So if anyone's got any last minute burning questions you want to whack in the chat.
No.
Andy's camera's died.
So I'm still here though.
Yeah. Defiant said, are these proper Southerners or like Kevin? So Kevin's a Scot from the Defiant events. These proper Southerners or like Kevin, they've lived in the South for many years but still have a silly accent. No proper Southerners. Warhound Tactical says it's all about AliExpress when we were talking about the iPro.
Oh yeah. I've seen some things on there.
Christian Woodhouse, it's the one bit of kit that you need to get absolutely right in terms of PPE, in terms of your iPro. So yeah, I don't think anybody. Andy's right. I mean, going back to that, the number of posts that you see of people going, "Oh, I've found this cool mask. Should I use this for airsoft?" And you're like, the first 30 comments are just people going, "Look, don't do it." And it's very
That was
very
me,
annoying.
my first set of goggles. I was like, they were just £5 on Amazon. And the guys at my first site were like, no.
Put them in the bin. I've had it before, at sites where someone's gone, look at this really cool like skull mask I bought off Amazon or AliExpress, and we're just like, do you want to borrow some off us? I really don't want to see that go wrng.
Yeah, I've got to admit we've had ones where they've gone, look at this, and you've looked at it and you've gone, hang on a minute, and the mesh isn't 6 mil, So you get a B, you can get a BB and just drop it through, and you go, well, you can't wear that because it's not going to stop anything. And you think, hang on, really?
Guys, I'm only playing if everyone uses 8mm BBs.
Yeah.
Or 6.6.4, something like that. As long as it's a decimal place after the 6, that's fine. I'm safe. Richard McRae says, ladies usually come to Red Tide 3 as role players to find out what the events are like.
Yes,
so if anyone's interested, Red Tide 3 is in April to fight events. I'm not paid to plug them. We've just come off of one of their last events and it was really good. But they've got their Red Tide 3 event is somewhere up north. Andy, help. Where is it? HQ Airsoft. So we're going to be going up there next month. But yeah, they have a role player section, which I believe is free.
Yeah, it is free, I think.
So if you want to sort of turn up to one of their events and sort of get involved as a role player,
dress up,
then obviously get to dress up, sort of do various
like zombies or something.
It's not so much zombies. I think Red Tide 3 itself is like a narco event, sort of DEA cartels and stuff. But
cool.
So it's sort of a good opportunity to sort of get involved and sort of learn a bit more about Defiant. If anyone's interested, I'll just stop rambling and plug them. I'm gonna have to start charging James for the.
I think we should actually. Yeah. But no, I think a couple of I think Alex is booked on.
April's quite busy for me because I've got a few events already, sort of game days already planned. But
it's basically just wander around and be a pain in the arse. That is what James decided to do. It's just basically walk around and distract everyone from what they're meant to be doing.
I don't know how I'd feel about potentially getting shot and not being able to shoot back though.
I think if you get shot, we're going to get told off. I think that's basically
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
probably not a good idea to give Kat a gun anyway at some point.
From the sounds of it, everyone will be dead.
I can't believe I'm taking my airsoft name down.
Take a whole section of highly trained DEA agents, and then Kat wanders around the corner and just lights them all up. Right, you all go back to base.
I swear, guys, I'm a good teammate.
Sorry, Kat, I don't mean to just sort of launch into a character assassination. John Smith says, favourite piece of kit that you've got?
Beside the gun again, I guess smokes. Is that classed as kit?
Yeah, you can use that.
Yeah, probably smokes. I quite enjoy them now that I'm not scared to throw one.
God bless you.
Took me a long time to do it, and I haven't thrown a Mark 5 yet. Slippery Caterpillar gave me one, and I've still got it. And I don't know if I'll ever throw it, but it's there in case I decide to.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we're allowed, if we're on the same event, I'll have my mortar with me, and you can have a fire of the mortar.
What's a mortar?
A bigger bag than a Mark 5.
Oh, great!
So
there you go.
A scaffold tube that you drop.
Yeah, to get a scaffold tube.
If I screw it up, I get hurt more.
No. I'll
send you a video of my teammates later, and then they are cool.
Talking of fear of pyro, just quickly, we had a wedding a while ago. It was my brother's wedding, and as part of that, he's big into airsoft, and he had the smoke grenades. It was all quite that kind of classic photo. Everyone's walking around with smoke grenades. So we got some dual vent ones which kick out quite a lot of the sort of the powder stuff. But we're all standing in a line, so we're just like smearing all this hot sugar. Burnt. It was a nightmare. It was absolutely banging photos, but I know I got some slight burns all over my face with that one. So
breathing it in is horrible.
I've had some fun stories with the mill smokes.
Oh yeah.
Just big military smokes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've had one thrown literally underneath my legs as I'm kneeling down, and I'm like, great. Thanks for that. I literally can't see or breathe now.
So yeah, sorry. Favorite pair of kit, Sarah.
Obviously, again, other than my guns, I'd probably say like my comms and my headset.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, purely because I get lost a lot sometimes when I'm at new sites. Yeah, and it is quite handy, and then you can be a bit more like with the teamwork and stuff, a bit more tactical. So I would say that's probably one of. I'm not very good at picking an exact favourite, but yeah, one of my favourite would probably be that.
That's cool. What sort of comm setup have you got?
I've just got like earmore headset. It's nothing too like crazy fancy, but does the job.
Yeah.
No,
Doesn't
nice.
get shot out either, does it?
Nope.
Continue this line of questioning. I can't see any more questions flying about. I'll give it just one more if anyone wants to throw one in the chat. If you want to join us next week, we're going to be talking about specialist milsim roles. So everything from sort of EOD clearance,
Medic,
what else? Medics,
radio man,
interrogators, sort of radio ops, and that sort of negotiators and sort of stuff like that.
anything
as well
not
as doing a bit of a debrief.
sniper, rifleman, or LM or support gunner.
Yeah, so the more specialist and niche things, that's what we're going to be talking about next week, as well as a bit of a debrief from Defiance Op Machiavellian, however you pronounce it, Op Mac, which was this last weekend. So feel free to join us for that Wednesday at 8 next week. Thank you ever so much, you two, for coming on.
Yes,
Sarah and
thank you very
Kat,
much.
it's been an absolute pleasure. And also Abby, for unfortunately she's had to dive off.
I think her
she had
internet
some,
failed her as well. I was talking to her.
Ryan says, Vixen, is my dinner ready? I finish work soon.
Oh, I'm guessing that.
Yeah.
So there we go. Happy International Women's Day.
Well, he can have beans on toast if he's nice.
If he knows how to cook it.
Yeah.
I might keep the door locked now.
Yeah. Unlucky Ryan.
It started snowing here as well, so you can stay out there in the fucking cold.
Good chance to practice snow camouflage, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Oh, actually, I could get a gun out and then shoot him out the window. No,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have iPro on, then that's very unsafe.
Yes.
Oh, throw some iPro out
Chuck
there.
some iPro. Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea. Right.
Yeah.
If he's still listening, that weren't my idea.
Unlucky Ryan. Have a good night's sleep. I hope you've got your emergency blanket in your car.
Thank you ever so much for coming on the show. It's been absolutely fantastic. To
Yes,
sort of speak
always
to
a
you,
pleasure.
find out about your experiences and stuff as well. So thank you ever so much.
Yep. And we could understand you this time. Alex is going to hate me for that. I got abuse last time.
Thank you.
If people want to, that's right. If people want
definitely,
to
thank
chat
you.
to you on Instagram at all, or sort of, I was going to say look up some of your content, but that sounded weird. Just sort of get. Oh God! If people want to find you on Instagram, how can they find you?
Airsoft Catastrophe. Yeah.
Cool.
Still fixing.
There you go.
I don't know if it's you're mirrored or whatever, but you're both pointing in the
Oh.
wrong direction.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
When I saw
Is that-
Not the right
Sarah doing it,
direction.
I was like, I'm doing
Oh, when
it.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at my screen, it's there.
Yeah, I hate it. Just
Somewhere
do
down
this.
there.
That's what I do. I go
Yeah.
here on the bottom.
If you want to get in touch with the show at all, you can do so on our email, which is nofochat@hotmail.com. Our Instagram is @November_Foxtrot_NoFo, and you can always get in touch with us on our website of novemberfoxtrot.co.uk through the contact form. We are getting there with some new and exciting content going on the website. We've just had a bit of a delay on that, so it may be up by next week. It may not be, but we know
Probably
we
won't.
like to let people fit on the edge of the excitement that might come out. Kenny says, I'm
That
stumbling
lined up
around
perfectly
innuendos.
with that last comment.
Oh, dear. On that note, thank you ever so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And
Thank you.
if anybody wants to join us next week, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Amelia says, favourite potato.
There you go.
That's
All
her
right.
favourite question.
Um,
Oh,
Mashed.
potatoes.
Yeah, either
Yeah,
a
roast
crispy
potato.
roast or a dopey nose potato.
A what? A dopey nose?
Dauphinoise.
Dauphinoise.
Oh, a dopey nose. You call it dope? I love that.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to call it that
Oh
from
my
now
god,
on.
that's brilliant. That's
That's
definitely
it.
what yeah, we're just
Yeah.
going to be walking around calling them those now.
Yeah, officially, that is now what every NoFo listener is going to call them
Yeah.
from now on.
Dopey potatoes.
Yeah,
Dopey
dopey nose potatoes.
On that
Love it.
note, we'll see you all next week. See you later.
See you later.
Thank
Stay
you.
NoFo.